All right, I'm gonna be installing this B&W 25,000 Companion Hitch, fifth wheel hitch, into the back of my 3500 dual rear wheel drive. I opened the box already and I pulled the pieces out. This is how it came. It looks like it shifted in the box. I'm assuming that it's heavy. So the main thing we have here is it came with a set of instructions that were taped to the box. It's the installation instructions, and you can see it's the model 3715. Shows all the parts that it comes with. This is the base plate of it. It's got a really nice protective sticker and a real nice looking logo on it. I mean, logo doesn't make the strength of it, but it looks pretty well made. It's supposed to be about 144 pounds. This piece here, I'm assuming, is the actual hitch piece to it. And as you can see, this is what it looks like out of the box. It does have a grease point, it looks like, and it's upside down. Oh, this piece is really heavy. Holy smokes. So that's really what we're looking at. I'm sure it mounts right up into here. Nice blue accents on some of the parts, and as I work through this, I'll just look through the instruction set. And this is a puck install, prepped for a fifth wheel. They're just straight through, they're steel, and then the fifth wheel mount will slide down inside of those. I don't believe I'll be using the center ball, but we'll see how that goes when I get to it. One thing it says we need here is a large torque wrench capable of 110 foot-pounds torque. That's a pretty good size one. You need a 3/4 inch socket, a 7/16 and 9/16 socket, and a 7/32 Allen wrench. So one of the important things to look at while installing this is going to be measurements. These pivot arms are made so that you can set and adjust the height, vertical adjustment, and the distance from the cab, horizontal adjustment. Basically, I don't have the trailer, so I'm going to install these, but I'm not going to torque them down. And I need to compare the measurement taken from the center of the coupler to the cab to the measurement taken from the center of the kingpin to the farthest forward point of the trailer. This measurement will allow me to see how much clearance I have between the cab and the trailer while towing and turning. So all right, the first thing that I'm going to do is try and set my pivot arms up, and the first thing I need to know is the hitch height. So I don't have the trailer right now because I'm getting ready to go pick it up, and but one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to set it at the medium, which is 18 inches, so I can set it at 17, 18, or 19. I'm going to set it at the medium and tighten it down, but just got to figure out exactly what's the best way to put these in. So I think it's best to lay this up like this, and then these metal blocks go on the back side of this thing. So as you can see, they'll go in here like this, and then the pivot arm will mount in here. Let me see if I can set my phone here. The pivot arm will then mount like this and line up to these holes. I'll probably have to adjust this a little, and then the bolts will go in through here and mount. So let me get this adjusted and I'll see if I can't get a good camera angle. So. All right, I think I got a good camera angle. It's gonna be a little difficult with one person, but I think if I lay this in here, and the medium height is here. Put this through one of these. And the other one. This kind of gets it situated so that now I can put the blocks on it. And like I said, the blocks, these metal blocks, mounting blocks, go behind and they are threaded. I'm going to mount these metal blocks, as it says, behind these on the other side of this plate. One of the things I noted is that there are two sides to this. One side has like a metal piece that's not threaded and immediately, and then this side has the thread starting immediately. So what I'm going to do, based on the way the picture looks, it looks like it starts this way. So this side will be towards the metal, and then the bolt will go in through this piece first, and it kind of helps to line it up, and then that way it'll start easier. So that's what I'm going to end up doing, is getting them started that way, and then go from there. So one thing you can see is how these bolts go through this. They come through this side. You can see there's 5 on each side. So as this is in here, I'm going to go ahead and I will tighten these, and that's where they need to be torqued down to a certain specification. But this will be the back one, and then this will be the front side of this. So the bolt heads are on this outside. Now, another thing is each of these come with a lock washer, so obviously the lock washer goes in. Then the back piece is aligned. Once that's aligned, this pretty much will slide in here, and then once it's in, you can kind of use your wrench. So I'm going to go ahead and get these all started, and then once I have them all started, then it's just a matter of tightening them down. So one of the things you can see is that this is, once it's on here, is going to hit this outer lip of the pivot arm. And as you can see, I've kind of reached the limit here. I can put it at an angle and get it on there still, but I don't really want to do that. So I'll go ahead and use my wrench and just tighten this down. Because again, I have to get my torque wrench and torque this to spec. So you can see that I got all of these tightened down. I got the back blocks on. These are tightened down, not to torque specs yet, and then next one is going to be this and installing this pivot arm. All right, you can see I got this, the passenger side done, driver's side done. They're both torqued. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is set up this leveling kit piece, and so it's just these few components, and what it says to do is to take this piece and mount the screw and nut through there. So, all right, now that I have the nut through there, or the screw through there, the nut will go on this end. Now note where this little angle piece of metal is on this setup, and you can see. And then if you see on this, it shows that similar setup. So that's what we're looking at right there. Now it does say where to mount this. So if you see, it says towards the cab on the driver's side. Pivot arm, you can see it should be a 1/2 inch below this. So then it would end up being a 1/2 inch below. This piece would go onto here, and you would see that it would mount. So before I do that, I need to make sure that I have these angled right, and I won't be able to do that until I have the trailer. So the next thing it's telling me to do is to go ahead and mount the system into the pucks, as you can see here. So I'll adjust all of my cams so that they will slide down into these. And if I rotate this up, you'll see how the cams are. I'll lay this down, and you'll see that these will rotate. Take this pin out, and then they will rotate to lock in. So they all need to be in this vertical position for the time being. I'm gonna set all my pins out here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, I have all of the cams in the right position. I'm gonna go ahead and drop these down into the pucks. And once they are pretty much almost aligned over it, I'm gonna go ahead and adjust them. And you can see, I didn't have to adjust much, it just fell right in. So now you lock all of these in place, and now that they're all locked in place, I can take on my pins and put my pins back in, and lock them. And once I have all of them locked, one of the things you can do, which probably is important, is to get a padlock that you can put to lock this whole thing in place, because otherwise somebody could come, pull this pin, and basically take them out, take your whole hitch. So I showed how these went into the vertical position to go in, and then you slide this around and lock. What that does is it lines these holes up. So lines these up, and you take these pins. I put it with the pin pointing out, because then you can easily get to this latch. And once you have that latch, it basically hooks in there, and your entire system is locked in there. So it's pretty. So the important thing to note here is that it says there's a warning. So you're going to want to adjust the tension on these. And this is the nut that's on here, and as you notice, you can see they kind of move. You don't want them to be where they're flimsy like this. You want them to be down, but you don't want to use excessive force to tighten them down. What I'm saying is that this, you can see how the latch cam that goes into the puck, and then you can see the nut and the cotter pin that's on there. It does say to not set this tension on this too much, but all right. So one thing it did say to have was a pair of needle nose pliers. So I have those. What I need to do is bend that straight so that I can then pull this. So it's easier to straighten that cotter pin out if you have this handle rotated out, and then you can see that they'll easily slide right out here. This is actually finger tight, so I need to tighten it down some, and then once it's snug, then open and close it a few times and test it. All right, so what I found is that this is a 15/16 nut. So I have that in there. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this down. All right, now I got this tightened down, and you can see that it moves pretty snug, but it's not rattling anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and put the cotter pin back in, and then secure that. Now we should see that this is in. It's snug like it should be, and it's not excessive. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, next thing it says is install the coupler handle, the base. So this coupler plate actually came with another leveling spring, so I'm going to install it in here. So the two button head nuts will go here, and then we'll slide this, and then put the associated nuts on here. Try to do this with one hand if I can. So I'll tighten those down. They are the Allen head screws, so I'll just pull my Allen wrench out, get that situated, and then we'll be good. Here's that. We got the Allen head, and then we'll tighten. That's in there, and then you can see that once that's attached, you can use this, and what this actually does, so by using this handle, what this does is it opens the jaws of the coupler and it closes it. So as you open and close it, you're opening and closing the jaws of the coupler. What I need to do is put this coupler onto here, onto these mounting blocks, and on the side of the coupler are these levers. So the easiest way for me to do this so far has been to grab both of those levers. It lifts up and it opens up the connections that are in there. And then this, once it's on here, these things actually will, there's connections in there and they kind of secure it in place. Since I didn't put the leveling spring in here, it does move, but I expect that once I get this all situated, I'll be able to put that leveling spring, like I said, and it goes right up underneath of here, and it provides the tension so that this won't rattle. So once this is in, there are these long securing pins. This goes in. There's a small cotter pin that slides over top of it, holds them in place. There's one on each side, and I'm just installing them front to back. It doesn't necessarily specify which way to go. So that is the install. So this is what it looks like fully installed. Everything is in place except for the leveling attachment. I didn't put that on because the way that this will attach to the metal of each of these pivot arms, I didn't want to damage this if I had to move it. So I'm not sure if the pivot arms, if you can see, the longer angle is here and the more straight up and down angles in the front, that's towards the cab. I have a long bed, so I don't think it's going to hurt it, but if I get there and I find that the front of the camper extends too far, I may have to rotate these pivot arms around. So that is the install. Didn't take very many tools, a few sockets, Allen wrench, needle nose plier, and you can see that this is mounted in here and is secure. It is pretty heavy once it's in, but the two pieces independently aren't super heavy. So one's about maybe 100 pounds, the other one's about 40, because it's 144 together, all together. So you can see it sets in there, you can see the profile of it. You can see it doesn't extend above the bed of the truck. You can see where it sets. Here is the axle, the rear axle, and if I look straight up, it's right over. So can't wait to use it. Show how that all hooks up when I get the trailer. So.